opportunities you see here by accepting crypto for education, empowerment, or increasing accessibility?
You know, one of the reasons why we decided to accept crypto is because we want our girls to not just fully participate in Web 3.0, but to reign it, to rule it. And you know, what we have learned, or what I have learned the past 10 years in building Girls Who Code and trying to make Web 2.0 more inclusive and less exclusionary, is that it's really hard. You know, when an industry, when a platform is built without women and without people of color, it's hard to push our way in. And I think with Web 3.0, we have this huge opportunity with crypto and NFTs and anything else that's coming up, right? To have girls be a part of it from the ground up. And that's exciting to me.
Now, companies like Kickstarter, Discord, Reddit, Ubisoft, those are just a few of the companies that got blowback after announcing their crypto plans, and Girls Who Code also got some pushback. This from Twitter, someone tweeting, "Take note of the fact that only the people voicing support for this are people who've made it their entire personality. Nobody except grifters and marks thinks this is a good idea." What do you make of that, and how are you responding?
Look, I think there's a lot. Well, first of all, it's I wasn't surprised, right? And I think a lot of the pushback is around climate and around, you know, potentially it being, you know, a scam. I think that there's a lot of fear when there's something new. But here's the reality. 23% of Black Americans own crypto compared to 11% of white Americans. 50% of those that are crypto curious are women. You know, this is a platform that is bringing in women and bringing in people of color. And if we want to solve those things, if we want to make, you know, Web 3.0 more or less energy intensive, you know, if we want to make it more inclusive, then we got to let women and people of color in from the beginning. And so we're not missing out and we're not sitting out. And we've learned too much from the past 10 years that that is not a good idea for equality and for equity.
Now, as we get to the end of this year, I'm so curious what progress girls in STEM made over the course of 2021 and what impact the pandemic and the shift to remote learning has had.
It's been an incredible year. You know, we just did a partnership with Doja Cat a few weeks ago. I think we got 13 billion impressions globally. 100,000 girls in one day logged on to basically code Doja Cat's nails, right? It inspired this enormous amount of excitement amongst girls for coding. So this is happening. You know, this movement is happening. You know, 10 years ago, I said that we wanted to teach 1 million girls to code, and we're getting there really fast. So we're really excited about the progress. But, you know, as the variant is now popping its head up again, and you are seeing schools shut down, we're going back to remote learning, we still haven't solved the digital divide. There's still far too many kids that are getting Wi-Fi in Burger King parking lots. Far too many kids that don't have a device to learn how to code or to learn how to, you know, just participate or be able to participate in school. And so we have a lot more work to do. You know, I still think that we have to invest deeply in K through 12 education. You know, we have to, in fact, this pandemic has showed us, you know, that it's more important than ever, as every day another industry is automated by technology, that it's more important than ever that our children have an opportunity to learn and to be part of this new growth in 21st century jobs. And so we just got to double down on the education of our kids. But the reality is like we've made an enormous amount of progress in getting our girls interested. And when you look at the world, right, and you look at all the problems we have to solve, COVID, climate, cancer, it's going to be girls. It's going to be our kids that solve those problems.
So 2023, there have been concerns about women backsliding in 2022, 2023. Do you worry about that playing out, or are you hopeful? Are you more optimistic?
I mean, absolutely. I'm screaming it from the mountaintops that we need a Marshall Plan for moms. You know, as my son just opened up the door, right? It's bath time. And, you know, all of us are trying to, you know, be moms, be parents at the same time, you know, of trying to maintain our full-time jobs. And it's not working. You know, millions of women are still being pushed out of the labor force. I mean, we just saw Joe Manchin stand in the way of paid leave and affordable childcare and the child tax credit and basically say, sorry, moms, no relief for you this Christmas. And so at Marshall Plan for Moms, we are doubling down on the change that we're going to make in the private sector. You know, still today, less than 4% of private companies offer subsidized childcare. You know, the vast majority of companies say that they offer paid leave, but there's a huge amount of variability on whether it's 2 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And for sure, the vast majority of men in their organizations don't take it. And we still have an enormous, you know, motherhood penalty The pay gap is attributed to the difference between our pays for moms and for dads. And so we got to change this. We should never let this crisis pass, without finishing this fight for gender equality once and for all. And Emily, it does frighten me that we're not paying attention again to the millions of people that have left the workforce, that we've had the largest exodus of women leaving the workforce in the history of our nation. It is a national crisis. But still, a few men are standing in the way of doing what is right. And I'm not standing for it. And we are building a movement to take moms from rage to power.